Once upon a time, in a quiet little village by the edge of the sea, there lived a boy named Elias. The village was small, with cobblestone paths winding between wooden houses painted in soft shades of blue and white. Seagulls flew overhead, calling out as if to greet the fishermen returning from their journeys. The salty breeze carried the scent of the ocean into every window, every garden, and every dream. Elias was no ordinary boy. He had the gentlest heart in the village and the biggest curiosity for the mysteries of the sea. Every morning, while the other children hurried to play by the market square, Elias would sit on the beach with his little journal. He wrote down the sounds he heard, waves that whispered like old friends, the soft hum of seashells, and sometimes even the laughter of dolphins far out in the waves. "Why do you always listen to the sea?" asked Marin, his best friend, one sunny afternoon. She was carrying a basket of fresh bread from the bakery, her cheeks rosy from the heat. Elias smiled, tucking a seashell behind his ear as if it were a secret. "Because the sea has stories to tell. If you listen closely, you'll hear them too." And truly, Elias could hear things no one else did. The waves spoke of faraway islands with forests made of crystal trees, of whales that sang lullabies to the stars, and of lost treasures resting deep beneath the waves. Sometimes Elias would share these stories with the villagers, but most of them would laugh gently, saying, "Oh, Elias, you have such a wild imagination." But Nana Elia, the oldest woman in the village, believed him. Her hair was silver like moonlight, and her eyes were deep as the sea. "The boy has the gift," she would say softly. "The sea chooses who listens, and Elias has been chosen." One quiet evening, when the sun dipped low and the horizon turned golden, Elias heard something he had never heard before. Sitting by the shore with his journal, he leaned close to the water. The sea was whispering urgently, almost like a call. "Elias, Elias." His heart skipped a beat. The sea had never spoken his name before. He bent closer, his hand pressed against the cool sand. "Follow the moon's path tonight," the sea whispered. "There is something you must see." Elias's eyes widened. The moon's path. He had often noticed how the moonlight stretched across the water like a glowing bridge at night. What could it mean? That evening, as the villagers prepared for sleep, Elias quietly slipped outside. The sky was painted in shades of deep blue, and the full moon hung like a silver lantern. Sure enough, across the calm surface of the sea stretched a shining trail of moonlight. Elias stepped carefully into a small wooden boat tied at the dock. With steady hands, he loosened the rope and began to row, his little lantern glowing beside him. The waves lapped gently against the sides, guiding him forward as if they knew where he was meant to go. The further he rowed, the quieter the night became. Soon, he could no longer hear the village behind him, only the soothing hush of the waves and the occasional call of a night bird. The moonlight wrapped around him like a protective glow, and he felt calm, though his heart beat fast with wonder. After what felt like hours, Elias reached something extraordinary. Rising from the water was an island he had never seen before. It glimmered faintly under the moonlight, as though it had been waiting all along, hidden from those who did not listen. The shore of the island was covered with sand that sparkled like silver dust. Seashells as big as baskets lined the beach, glowing faintly. Strange flowers grew among the rocks, their petals shimmering like pearls. Elias stepped onto the shore, his feet sinking into the cool sand, and felt as though he had entered a dream. Suddenly, a soft voice greeted him. "Welcome, listener." Elias turned. Standing before him was a girl about his age, but she was unlike anyone he had ever seen. Her hair shimmered like flowing water, and her eyes gleamed with the deep blue of the sea. She wore a dress woven from seaweed and shells, and she carried a lantern made of coral. "Who are you?" Elias whispered. "I am Narina," she said, her voice as soft as the tide. "I am the keeper of dreams. This island is where the sea stores its stories, and it chose you to visit tonight." Elias's eyes widened in awe. "The sea trusts me?" Narina nodded. "Because you listen. Many hear the waves, but only a few truly listen." She led him deeper into the island. As they walked, Elias noticed that the trees here were not like any he had seen. Their trunks shimmered and their leaves sang softly in the breeze, like lullabies carried on the wind. Fireflies glowed in the air, lighting their path. They reached a great pool at the heart of the island. Its surface shone brighter than the moon, and when Elias looked into it, he gasped. He saw visions of whales swimming through starlight, children in distant lands dreaming of adventures, and ships carried safely home by guiding waves. The pool shimmered with all the dreams of the world. "This," Narina explained, "is the Sea of Dreams. Every night, when children fall asleep, the sea sends them gentle dreams carried on the tides. Tonight, it is your turn to receive one." Elias felt a warmth spread through him. As he leaned closer, the water rippled and rose, forming a glowing pearl. Narina placed it gently into his hand. "This pearl," she said, "holds your dream. When you close your eyes tonight, it will take you on a journey you will never forget. And when you wake, you will carry the gift of peace and wonder to share with others." Elias held the pearl close. It pulsed softly like a heartbeat. "Thank you," he whispered. Narina smiled, her eyes kind. "Remember, Elias, the sea will always speak to you. And whenever you listen with your heart, it will guide you back here." The moon began to dip lower, and Narina's form started to fade like mist. "It is time for you to return," she said. "But the dream will stay with you always." Elias hurried back to his little boat, the pearl glowing in his hands. As he rowed, the moonlight path stretched before him, leading him safely back to his village. When he returned to shore, the sun was just rising, painting the world in pink and gold. Elias clutched the pearl and hurried home, slipping into bed just as the first roosters crowed. That morning, as he drifted into sleep, the pearl dissolved into soft light, wrapping him in warmth. Elias dreamed of swimming with dolphins, of flying with gulls above endless waves, and of touching the stars reflected in the sea. It was the most peaceful sleep he had ever known. From that night on, Elias carried the gift with him. He no longer felt shy when he told the villagers about the sea's stories. Sometimes, when children in the village struggled to sleep, he would sit by their bedside, close his eyes, and share the dreams the sea had given him. Soon, the entire village slept more peacefully, their nights filled with gentle adventures and soft wonders. And though years passed, Elias never stopped listening to the sea. On quiet nights, he would still hear his name carried by the waves, and sometimes when the moon was full, he would follow the silver path once more, returning to the secret island where dreams lived. The sea had chosen him, and in return, Elias gave the world the gift of listening, kindness, and gentle dreams. And so the boy who listened to the sea grew into a young man, then into a wise elder, but he never lost the sparkle in his eyes. nor the stories whispered by the waves. For in every tide and every ripple, the sea continued to speak, and Elias continued to listen. And every night, children who heard his stories drifted into the softest sleep, their hearts wrapped in the endless lullaby of the sea.